Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I'm back with Fernbus, and we've not been on this for a while, have we? But I've been away for a few days on holiday. I've come back feeling quite refreshed, and what's also refreshing is that there was a big update for Fernbus whilst I was away this week. I think it rocked in about 5 gig. As I recall. I could be wrong on there, but I'm sure I saw 5 gig. There's a few things I had to download when I got back. We are on the PS5, of course. I thought one of the main things in this patch was to do with performance, and you may remember from the last couple of videos we talked about how we had several graphical settings that we could play with, and they were taken away, and then a one-size-fits-all was put into the graphical menu. Well, that's changed a little bit. And we'll have a look at that. We'll run half of a route with the performance mode off, which is the default, and then we'll quickly flick performance mode on and see if we can see any difference. So let me just tell you about this. Bus Pack 4, by the way, is now available for Xbox and PlayStation. That's one thing. I don't have any of the bus packs on Fernbus for PS5, but performance mode is the main feature, and it says it can be toggled in the graphical settings. We'll have a look at that. Default, as I mentioned, is that performance mode is toggled off. If you have it on, they say that it will save 10 to 20 FPS at a cost of graphical quality and mirror display. So we'll see if we can see that, shall we? If toggled off, buses which have dual mirrors will have both mirrors enabled, and overall graphics will have higher settings at the cost of a higher frame rate. And there's other individual fixes as well. Comes out for the bus packs, specific fixes for Denmark and things like that. But I just want to have a look at the performance mode and see. They're obviously tinkering with this to get it right. They must not be quite happy with how it is and listening to feedback, etc. So we can have a look at that, can't we? So if we look in the graphics setting, they're still very basic. If we look across, we've got, as we've always had, gamma, contrast, colorblind mode, and then literally down at the bottom you can see a performance mode. So currently it's off, that's on, so let's leave it off for now, and we will run a little. I don't want to go into that. I want to do that, and then I want to do that. We'll run a little route that I set up. This is Albeck to Stettin. So if I just quickly show you where that is at the map, you can see we're up in the sort of Rostock area. I have run this one before because I wanted to run a route that had a mixture of sort of towns and something a bit more rural, and this kind of covers it. So incidentally, if you are collecting the achievements, there is an achievement to visit Usedom, which is there. So if you're looking for Usedom and you want the trophy or the achievement, that's where it is. It's to our left from where we are starting today at Albeck. So we're going from Albeck, we're coming down to, well, if you hover over it, it says it's called Stettin. I'm so glad it's called Stettin, because I would not like to get my tongue around that name right there. So I'm happy with Stettin, I will just tell you that. So let's come out the map. We're going to select that one. I'm just going to go with whatever bus I've got selected from last time. So let's go to next. We want to change the date and time, definitely. Why don't we do the current time, which for me is 12:30 in the afternoon, and it is the 3rd of the 8th as well. So there you go. So you might not be watching this on the 3rd, but that's when I'm recording it. So did I just come back out of that like an idiot? Let's just check. I pressed back too many times. Right, we're good. Now we can start again. Let's just get on with it, shall we? I think this is about, it's up to half an hour, this run, if I recall correctly. So it's not a massive run, but we'll get to see any new little improvements and see what the performance is like. I'm just wondering whether or not we can actually see any difference or not. So here we are at the depot, and Oh, that's good. Look at that. Look at the garage doors going up. I've never noticed that before. Is that new? I don't suppose every depot has a garage, does it? We start off at the depot, generally, but I don't know. What's this? Water on the floor? Oil? It's shimmering like it's water. So, anyway, without further ado, there's a nice little depot there. ECM electrical component manufacturing are also in the building for FlixBus. That's interesting. Anyway, reflections looking good in there, as you can see. We'll hop on board. Whoops. I mean, why is that guy waiting there? He's just trolling me. He knows I'm going to have to turn left. Let's get started up. Put it into drive. We don't need the light. Well, let's put the side lights on, shall we? This is Europe after all. We'll take that off. Looks like a warm day, so we'll put the aircon down to a sort of comfortable 21, I reckon. We'll close that door. We'll put on all the usual amenities. That's interesting. That's new, is it? That's showing the passenger information board. I don't recall seeing that before. Let me know if that's new. This always used to come up, showing us where we were going. That's the spoken word. So we don't need that one till we set off. We don't need the reading lights. I think we are all good to go. So let's have a quick look outside. Yeah, look at these guys. I mean, what is the point? And you can bet I'll do this, they'll move up. Right, come on. We'll try it, and just by magic we've got a lamppost there as well. But let's just see. We might have to just clip the curb very slightly. No, we're not on the curb. Hey, we're doing it, we're doing it. There we go, there we go. But I mean, that could have been easier, couldn't it? Let's be honest. Right, we've got a 70-kilometre drive to get to our pickup spot. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Usually they're sort of less than 10 kilometres away from the depot, but not this one. Anyway, it's looking good so far, isn't it? And this is on full graphical settings on the PS5, so we'll see how we get on. Maybe we'll drive it with this setting down to the bus stop, and then we'll switch it over to the new reduced graphical setting, where it's meant to save us between 10 and 25 frames per second. We'll see if we can see any difference. That's what this video is about, and just enjoy a run on Fernbus, because you know, we don't play it every week, and it's always nice to jump back in. So we'll give it some love, I think. I know many of you are still playing this solid, and I don't blame you. It's a good game for console, so especially got the DLCs. I'm still not convinced. I've got to admit, I'm still not convinced about the bus packs. And it's like I always say, if you're a big fan of buses and coaches, then they could be value for money. But to me, I like playing bus driving games, bus simulation games. But as to what bus I'm driving, I don't really have a preference, really. I don't know them enough. That might be a little bit ignorant of me, but that's in difference to trains, where I do know a little bit more about trains now than I did, especially the UK stuff, and I'd be able to make a better decision on DLC packs for trains, as I have been doing with Train Sim Classic, because I keep spending lots of money on Train Sim Classic for trains that I know. So anyway, we're going through this quite leafy area. There's a lot of trees at the roadside, and I'm just keeping an eye on the sort of graphics of these, and so far it's looking pretty good. There's obviously some shimmering on the road from the shadow from the trees. The mirrors are still looking good. I will say one thing, as we pass the trees, if you look in the mirror, they've got a lot less leaves in the mirror than they have as we are passing them in real time on the left and right. But that's fine. I'm not looking in my mirrors 100%. Let's see if that boulder is there. See that boulder on the right? There it is. Yeah, it's there. So that's good. You're just not seeing, you're not seeing a random thing in your mirrors. You're actually seeing what is going past. So there's a tree stump there on the left. Yeah, that's there. That's good. That's good. So far, the full performance during the daytime looks good for me. Let's see if anything we got a good view ahead of us here. Let's just see if anything is popping in the distance. Some of the shadows are fine. I can deal with that. It's when chunks of scenery pop up that it's a bit distracting. I need to be 50 across here. There we go. Let's just have a quick look outside. I'm going to try not to hit the barrier while I do this, but I do like to go outside, as you know. The water's pretty blue, isn't it? Let's go back in, because the passengers will be waiting for us. So we're due to arrive at 12:30 at Albeck. It is now 12:22, so we've got 8 minutes to get there. So I don't think we need to absolutely go mad. But this is quite a nice route, actually. The last time I drove it, I've drove it once, and I've been trying to get the trophy for driving so many hours at night. So I did drive this at night, and it was pretty dark going through those trees. I'm not going to lie. But actually, during the day, it looks pretty good. And this is Usedom, so this is where you'll get your trophy or your achievement if you're looking for that. It's quite an easy one to get, if you can find it on the map. But now you know where it is. It's a slight spoiler, but I know many of you've probably already got that. So we're getting into a built-up area now as we come into Albeck, so we'll just see if there's any noticeable difference. Still getting that flickering on the desk there, you can see, of the sat-nav, but it's done that for as long as I can remember. Depends what bus you're driving, I think. So, I'm not too worried about that, because most of that's being covered up by the pop-out sat-nav that I've got there, so I'm alright with that. I'm trying to, going forwards, I'm trying to not get too hung up about the graphical stuff, unless it's completely horrendous. I know many of you have reported to me problems with Alaskan Truck, which has just come out on console. Now, I haven't played that, so I can't comment. I have watched a couple of videos on that from various people, and I can see what you're talking about on the. Now that some of that is really bad. Let's face it. Compared to this, there's nothing really wrong with this as such. So that the things in here are minor. I'm pleased with this though, that they keep going back to keep tweaking it and trying to get it right for everybody, because that's important. Especially if they want to sell more DLCs, of course. You're not going to buy another map DLC if you know everything's going to be popping in and out. But I'm trying to, going back to what I was originally saying, I'm trying to enjoy the games a bit more and not be as critical. Now, don't get me wrong. If something's really bad, I will definitely be critical. You know me by now. This is what I'm like. I will be critical. But I want to play things a little bit more without analysing it too much. So we've got 5 kilometres to Albeck. We've still got 5 minutes. So we'll try and depart on time. I don't know if you get points or XP knocked off if you set off early. If I don't leave at the time it wants me to leave. I know if I'm late, I would assume I get XP knocked off, but if I leave early, I probably should get XP knocked off for that as well, shouldn't I? Because people could be running for the bus and I've already I've already left, which is not great, but as it happens, we've got a red light right here as we get right into the border of Albeck. There we go, let's just leave the brake on. We'll have a little look outside. Oh, that's bad. Look at the guy in the red car. He's parked on the railway crossing. I mean, that is shocking. If that barrier comes down, well, he's had it. So that's not good. Anyway, we'll pop back in because I'm hoping we get a green light anytime. Here it comes. Let's check out where these guys are going. One thing I did notice when I did a night run earlier is that I did not see AI vehicles with the headlights on in all cases. So I don't know what's happened there. But anyway, that's if you're doing a night run, which we are not. So I'm going to put that in neutral. I'm going to get that indicator off because it's ticking away. Let's get the doors open. We'll get out the seat. Oh, there's a few takers. Let's open that. Then people can be putting luggage on board. There they go. Now, let me log in so we can... Let's cancel that. Highlight that. That helps. We want to... Right, so we've logged in. We're not starting the ride yet. So the good thing about this is we're only going to Stettin. So ticketing should be easier. Let's see. Let's get a few people on board, shall we? Stettin, yes. Yeah, you can come with us. So can you. Stettin. And Stettin, yeah. There's quite a few, isn't there? Nobody wants a ticket either. It's a popular place, this. Ah, look at this. You're off to Brno, I presume that is. So I'm sorry that you're not with us. What about you, sir? Stettin, yeah, go on, hop on. Alborg, no. Wrong one. Stettin, yes, you can go. And Stettin, right, there we go. Is there anybody else? No, I think we're all good. So let's close that, first of all. We will jump on, close the doors. Let's get the announcement going. And the other thing, of course, we need to do is start the ride. We don't want to not forget that. So, let's get back. So it's saying 12:32 we need to depart. So, shall we wait till 12:32? It's not that far to go, is it? We'll just give everybody the announcement whilst we have a quick look around at Albeck. I could have actually had a walk around for a couple of minutes, but it's fine. Look at the reflection in the side of the coach. I'm quite impressed with the reflections. I think that's very good. You know, considering there's a lot of work going on with performance, you would think that reflections would suffer somewhat, but it isn't. I mean, you can see that building flickering just there in the background. I mean, that's just, you know, we always get that, don't we? It's not too off-putting when you're driving, and that's the main thing. So I think it's alright. I quite like it. Shall we change the performance setting before we leave? I might just, I don't know if I'll leave it on the whole way, but we'll try it. So I'm gonna go into the settings, then under graphics, I'm just gonna toggle this on. So this is, as mentioned, this will save us, apparently, between 10 and 25 frames per second. Did it? Oh, so look at the building in the background. Watch the building in the background. So that is with nothing reduced. And then if I toggle it on, can you see there is a slight, the shadows are changing. And you can see over on the left there, against that wall, you can see a shadow on, off. So maybe it is shadow. So we're going to leave that on. and we're going to see if there's any noticeable difference, but it could just be shadows. See, to me right now, there's not much of a difference. But we'll see. If you see anything that you think is very noticeable, then drop me a comment down at the bottom. But also drop me a comment if you've been playing this since the update and you've tried both settings. Which one do you prefer? I'm not seeing a lot of difference, but we'll see when we get out in those trees again as we leave Albeck, if there's any difference. But to me, I don't know. I think it's pretty similar. I mean, how much really is 10 to 25 frames per second? Is it really that big of a thing? I don't know. But there must have been some specific reasons for introducing this mod that I wasn't familiar with. Because you remember the old graphics settings, you could change all sorts in that. You could change shadow, foliage, all sorts of stuff. There was lots of sliders, and I just got that in the sweet spot where I needed it, and then they removed that, and as I said at the beginning, gave the one size fits all for graphics. So I think they're trying to give us a set of graphics settings that they think should be correct. So we'll just see. I don't see a noticeable difference. So I in future, after this video, will probably run it with the performance mode toggled off, so have it at full whack basically. But it's 12:32, so I'm gonna hop in, and I think we are gonna get going. So let me put that in drive. We'll take the handbrake off, and we'll start our journey down to Stettin, shall we? And we'll see how we go. Watch out for this curb, or the passengers will tell me I've hit a curb and generally get a bit annoyed. We've got 139 kilometres down to Stettin. That's quite nice. We got a coastline there. Very nice. I don't recall being up in this area very much. I'd already unlocked Albeck in the map, so I have been up here, but I couldn't tell you when that was. I mean, I've been all over the map now. I still haven't unlocked everything, but I've been in every general area. But this is a nice little town, this. I do like the coastal runs. I like the French coastal runs as well that you can do in Fernbus. If you've not been up the French coast yet, give that a try. If you look back in the channel at the playlist, and if I can find it in the playlist, I think we did a live actually one Saturday where we went up the French coast, so I will put a link to that up in the top right hand corner if I remember to do so after this, if you fancy watching that. Right, we'll just wait for this traffic light. There we go. And this is where we came into the town, so we've got a 50 kilometres. There's where the guy was on the tracks. That is not recommended. That's the AI making a very potentially fatal error there. I just wonder, does the AI actually know that that is a railway track? Possibly not. I don't know if it's that clever. Don't know how it's programmed in, but I can hear people yawning in the back of the bus, so that's good. They're getting nice and relaxed. So we came from the right hand side here. Our depot was on the right hand side, and so now we are carrying on this way to the left, and we got 131 kilometres, but it's not that bad. It's not literally 131 kilometres. There we go. We got a green and he's set off. What's he doing? Right, so it's 12:47 and we're due in at 14:22. slow down for this 50. One thing I wanted to ask you guys as well was about, I mean, maybe I don't play it enough, but how often do you fill up the bus, refuel the bus, and how many times do you do rest stops? If you do, maybe I've not done a longer journey for a while, maybe I should do, we should consider doing a live stream where we go a very long distance. But I've not had to refuel or take a rest stop for quite a while, so maybe it's the distances, I don't know. There's achievements and trophies for that as well, the amount of stops, etc. And I haven't got those trophies yet, and I'm speeding a little bit through this tunnel. Meant to be doing 60. That's better. So yeah, let me know, is there a certain distance that you need to go for it to pop up and require a rest stop? I don't know. Anyway, so remember, we've got the performance mode toggled on, so keep your eyes open. I think it still looks good with this mode. If you select this, if the 10 to 25 frames per second helps you. It did say in the patch notes, didn't it, that there would be some degradation to the mirrors. I'm not seeing it at the moment, unless it means not everything is going to be showing in the mirrors. Someone's hit me now on the roundabout. That was nice of them. I already had the right of way. But yeah, I'm just looking at the mirrors. I can't see any performance degradation there. I can't see any detail missing. Let's just see if all these trees are reflecting in the mirrors. Look, it looks good to me. Yeah, I don't really see a difference. Maybe they're getting a little bit less detailed the further we drive away from them. But it's not something I would notice unless I really look for it. So, yeah. I think probably you're alright with either of the two modes on. Right, we can get up to 140 on this stretch. We've still got 105 kilometers to go. So it's a nice little run. Nothing too strenuous. Need to pull in here. Be careful with that. Drop down to 90. There is something quite relaxing about being able to play this on the PS5 and just lounge about on the settee and just go for a drive across Europe like this. I have to admit, we need more of these type of games, don't we, on the console? Now, I don't know if I should be in the left lane or the right lane. I don't suppose it really matters. Looks like it's putting me in the right lane on the sat-nav, but we can get up to 120, so we might have to go past this guy anyway, because he's not going that fast. Let's be careful, because I'm using the controller, so the steering is a little bit more sensitive on the stick than it would be on the steering wheel. But you know, you're fine with these curves like this, these turns. You get into a rhythm with the steering, don't you? The longer that you drive for, it becomes less jerky on the stick. You get into the curve of the speed that you're doing versus the angle of attack, and it becomes a little bit more smoother. It's a bit jerky at the beginning when you first start getting into it. Anyway, here we are. We're down to 72 kilometers to go, so not far at all. I think everybody on board is happy at the moment. I've not heard him shout anything apart from when one guy rammed us in the back at the... Is he going to let me out? Oh, that was close. Apart from when the guy rammed me in the back at the roundabout, I think they're all happy. A bit of stutter there. I wonder if it's to do with these fences. Just a little bit stuttery between these big fences. I suppose there's a lot going on just there. We've got two outer fences and the sort of barriers in the middle, so a lot of the screen is filled up there. Right, we're meant to be doing 100, so let's just ease off the gas. I think we need to be in the left-hand lane. You have to be careful, don't you, when you're pulling out to overtake somebody, because the AI is coming up behind you at a rate of knots. They really do shift, so that can be a bit of a problem. You look like you've got loads of room to pull out, and you're looking in the mirror, but actually they're on you in a second. But if you indicate long enough, they will wait for you in most cases to pull out. So remember to use your indicators. That always helps, both in this game and in real life, of course. Right, we've got 39 to go. I'm going to assume, given that we've only got that distance, we're going to be turning off any time soon. So I'll just go past this fake Tesco lorry and get myself back in. Nice smooth ride today. Hopefully the passengers appreciate it once we arrive at Stettin. Right, we've got a sign there telling us we're going off to the right. There it is again, the centre of Stettin. That'll be us. And indeed, we're coming off right here, so let's get the indicators on. 80 on the slip road, so we're already good. Now, if anybody from TML or anywhere like that is watching this, can we please just lift and shift this and have trucks on it? It'd work, wouldn't it? It would work. All this AI, all these AI trucks that are going past, could we have this as a trucking sim? I think that would work, and I think that would be popular. Maybe they could just, even though it's Fernbus. What if they just added DLCs that let you do that and use the same map that you've already got? Now there's an idea. How difficult would that be? I don't know. You'd have to set up something for the trucks to do, of course. There'd have to be some gameplay. But as far as a map goes, I could see myself driving trucks on this, on the console. Can you imagine? They'd steal the market right now, wouldn't they? With that. Going back to Alaskan Truck, I think a lot of players on console have jumped into the Alaskan Truck, haven't they, thinking that this could be the saviour for trucking sims on console. But from the feedback that I've seen, and as I've said, a lot of you have commented to me, even though I've not been playing it, from what I've seen, right now, you know, certainly people have advised me not to pick it up just yet until there's been some work done. But in all fairness, the other thing I have seen is that the devs are working on that, aren't they, to get as much of it resolved as possible. But once again, a game has been released where it seems like, from what you guys tell me, it's not quite right for release, which is a shame. So I might end up jumping into that one. Let's just see. Let's just see how we go with it. I'll keep my eye on it. So here we are, less than 10 kilometers to go. This is the town of Stettin. A nice church there in front. The water looks a little bit different here, look, doesn't it? Now, we're in performance mode, as I said, and that water looks quite nice, doesn't it? Yeah, so I don't know really. I don't know how much of a difference this is actually making. Look at those buildings on the right. Can you see as we get near to them? They're sort of changing shape a little bit. There could be a lot of that going on that we just haven't seen because we've been out in the countryside, you know. But I'm not seeing a great deal of difference between the two performance modes that we've got. I don't know, what do you guys think? As always, make sure you let me know in the comments, and then we can have a chat about that when we do the next video. We'll have a look at some of the comments perhaps and see what you guys think. When you do comment as well, even though I'm playing on PlayStation, let me know in the comment. If you do leave one, let me know if you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation or Steam, just so we know if it's any different between those platforms as well, because it could be. What you can see now from me here on PS5 might be completely different to the Xbox. It shouldn't be, but you never know. So let me know that as well. But I'm not seeing a great deal. I really not. So I'll probably toggle it off again until I notice something horrendous, perhaps, or something like that. But on the basis of what I can see, I think it's fine. Alright, so I think the depot must be just up here. Indeed it is. I see other buses right there. So we'll turn in. There's our stop. So let's just try and I don't know whether I should turn that in or I should reverse it. I should probably reverse it there, shouldn't I? Shall we try it? We're risking it here, aren't we? Let's get the brakes on. And we'll give it a go, shall we? We'll swing the back end round. There's not much room between those two small little dwarf walls there. But we'll give it a go. The railway should take a leaf out of this book. Well, madam, have you seen me playing TSW? Oh god, this is all going wrong now, look at this. No, we're alright, we're good, we're good. We're good, in fact we're pretty good. That will do us. Right, let's get that out of reverse while we're in good shape. And we'll get that on. We'll open the doors. We'll pop out, and if I can get through there, I can open this. I'm probably meant to go forwards, because I bet you all the passengers are around this side, look. There they are, look, they've all sneaked around there. There's our reg plate that we've got going on. I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with that stop, apart from hitting that curb slightly. We've not done too badly though with a reverse. It's difficult to reverse from driving it in the driver's position, I will say that much. But let's have a look, shall we, how we did. So we need to just log out, and we'll get our summary. We did 204 kilometres, and we're all green on service, which is quite nice. Traffic rules. We got properties damaged. Was that someone driving into us? And of course, the usual safety distance broken. But yeah, 527 XP. You don't get a lot of XP, do you? You know, really, to say that we've just done 200 and odd kilometres. But there you go. That was it. Don't forget, tell me what you think about the performance mode or generally about Fernbus, and if you think anything else that came with that patch this week has improved your experience with Fernbus. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do leave me a like, and I'll see you all on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.